Boys and girls, this is another continuation proving that the Florida government office is basically a shill and a lie. And they're not even needed. This is probably the first time this has ever been done. This was a conversation December 8, 2014, exposing them. They sure as hell don't like to talk to a regular citizen. They sure don't mind talking to the propaganda news people, because the propaganda news people are not going to ask hard questions. So it's a continuation.
And trying to get something done about a very severe cop protection racketeering, that's under 895 of the Florida statutes, criminal enterprise that is going on where the cops can go to jail, a minimum $10,000 fine, 10 years in prison. That's under United States Code Title 18, 241, 242. Under 895, it's a minimum of 30 years in prison. Now, you ever hear those super loud car stereos, May, in Tallahassee?
I'm sorry?
You ever hear those super loud car stereos in traffic?
Loud stereo playing?
Yeah.
From other vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Okay, now, Governor Rick Scott, his statute is Chapter 14 of the Florida statutes. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm sorry, I'm not, sir.
Okay. It is his duty to protect the citizens. Now, I'd like to know why it is Rick Scott hasn't immediately banned all these boom cars that rob citizens of their right to live in peace. Now,
in order for that to happen, sir, some kind of legislation would have to be passed regulating that specifically.
All right, okay, let me ask you something. How long have you been with the governor's office?
5 years.
All right, let me give you, you have a pen handy, I'll write you down some laws that legislation's already passed to get rid of these boom cars. You ready? You got a pen handy?
I do.
Okay. And I would greatly appreciate it if you read them back when you get done, so that way we got them right. The numbers. Okay, 80610 is interference with emergency vehicles. That's a 5-year prison sentence. Okay, now we got 874, criminal gang signaling instrumentalities. That's the way they deal their drugs. That's a minimum 5-year prison sentence. Okay, now they got when the concussion of the speaker breaks into somebody's home uninvited. That's 1802 of the Florida statutes. That right there is a minimum 15 years in prison. That's a second-degree felony. Now we've got 932 contraband, of where we can take away their vehicles permanently. It is the duty of the Sheriff's Department under 3015 of the Florida statutes to arrest every one of these punks that are going up and down the road, destroying the quiet citizens' right to live in peace. Now, you did take an oath to support and defend the Florida Constitution. Am I correct on that?
I'm sorry?
You did take an oath to support and defend the Florida Constitution. Am I correct on that?
Did I take it off? I wasn't sworn into office, sir.
Rick Scott was, though, wasn't he?
The governor was sworn into office.
Right? Article...
Okay. So you want the governor, you're complaining about the sheriff's office not enforcing these particular statutes, sir?
Right, and here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Article 2, Section 7 of the Florida Constitution says unnecessary noise will not be tolerated. Now, 784, have you ever heard them in traffic where it felt like you're going to bust your eardrums? Hello? Have you ever felt those speakers coming through your car?
Sir, I've heard of loud, yes, music coming from vehicles.
Right.
If you have concerns about
That's 784, that's 784, that's 784, the Florida statutes.
Okay.
Now, would you mind reading back the statutes that I gave you?
806.10, 874, 810.02, 932, and 315, and then you just stated 784.
Right, and did you put the names next to them so it doesn't look like a bunch of jumbled numbers?
Okay, sir, you're speaking way too fast.
Alright, I'll slow it down. Okay?
Okay.
80610 is interference with emergency vehicles.
Interference with emergency vehicles.
Alright, now we've got 81002, which is called breaking and entering into an occupied dwelling with the concussion of their speakers.
Okay, breaking, I'm sorry?
81002 of the Florida statutes. Now we've got 874.
Breaking and entry, sir, if you want me to verbatimly write these down,
Why not?
you need to slow down, or you can certainly send your information to our office for review.
Well, what I have found that when I tried emailing the governor, I never got a reply.
What's your email address?
Jimbikeman3, J-I-M,
Is it all one word?
yeah, Jimbikeman3 at gmail.com. Jimbikeman, number 3, not T-H-R-E-E.
Number 3, okay.
No, not number 3, 3 at gmail.com.
No, just 3 at gmail.com. Okay, gotcha. So
Yeah,
Jim, and then bike, man, the number 3 at gmail.com.
Yes, and
When did
see,
you send those emails?
pardon me?
When did you send your last
Man, I've sent so many emails and I ain't got no replies. I can't tell you the exact date, but
So it was recent then?
But I can tell you December 8, 2014 right now. I'm sending you my email. And if you like, you send me an email to my email and I'll send you all the felonies of these boom car punks. And the cops right now are doing racketeering protection, which is 895 of the Florida statutes. And they're doing a federal crime under United States Code Title 18, 241, 242, which is a $10,000 fine and 10 years in prison. Now, we need to look and to find out why the Florida Department of Law Enforcement lied.
First name? Is it Jim?
Jimbikeman, number 3 at gmail.com.
Okay, that's your email address, but is that your name as well, sir?
That's what, I'm a lifelong orphan, miss, okay? I don't know if you know what it's like not to have a family, okay? I named myself.
I'm just trying to get your name, sir.
I go by Jim Bikeman. I go by Jim Bikeman, just like your mother didn't need permission to name you.
What's your phone number, sir?
Why you need my phone number? We're talking right now.
Okay, sir. I'm just trying to get information regarding your concern.
I'm scared. Let me say something to you.
I can certainly
May.
see why it hasn't been responded to, sir.
May,
But I'm still unsure of...
let me ask you something. If I didn't, let me ask you something. May, if I didn't have a phone number and all I could do was call from a telephone booth, am I supposed to wait at the telephone booth? I should think that number one.
I just wanted to know whether or not you had a phone number to see if that was an option for us to communicate with you, sir, if you have other concerns. But if you do not have a phone number to leave with us, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, May, first of all, I want to thank you for your professionalism. Okay, we need to look and to find out why the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is scared to arrest the racketeering cops. I want, here's something else. I want the Florida Supreme Court people that sided with Richard Catalino about the boom cars. I want every one of them justices arrested, who sided with the loud car stereos over the citizens' rights to live in peace. I want them arrested. I want Governor Rick Scott.
An arrest of some sort of an elected official, sir, that would be through the Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Well, how about if I told you I just got finished talking to Florida Department of Law Enforcement and they lied to me, and I told them that they said our phone, trying to intimidate me about our phone calls being recorded. I said, damn, that's a good idea. I'm glad you are recording it. Because in that way, they can't turn around and claim that I threatened him over the phone or anything like that. And not only that, there's something called perjury. That's 837 of the Florida statutes. Not only that, it's a felony called conspiracy too. Okay, I know my laws. But it seems to me like no matter how many laws I look up, May Rowland, you have been the most professional person I've run across so far. Florida Department of Law Enforcement is a fraud. Attorney General's office is a fraud. Florida Department of Law Enforcement is basically a bribery extortion organization, a cop framing organization. It is not designed to protect the citizens, because I know a case in Bay County, Florida, where Dennis Creamer is now in jail for the rest of his life, where I highly suspect he did not kill his baby. But they sure had the Florida Department of Law Enforcement there to frame him. So why is it? Then they're turning around and saying they only act on behalf of the cops. Us citizens don't have a right to be able to trigger an arrest. What are they needed there for? Now I'm hoping that you will contact Governor Rick Scott. Do you ever speak to Governor Rick Scott that often? You're in the Capitol,
We
right?
communicate with the governor in writing, sir.
Okay.
So I can certainly forward your concerns forward.
Not only that,
He does have access into the system, but based on what you're describing regarding your complaint relating to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, I would encourage you also to contact your Office of Inspector General, sir.
But see, Miss May, they make it so impossible. The average person doesn't know what the Inspector General is. It's all I know is you got the chief and you got the Indians, okay? I don't know all these terms like deputy this and that and stuff like that. All I know is cops are ignoring, looking the other way on these boom car punks. Matter of fact, why don't you look into the facts are that there was an officer striker in Panama City, Florida, threatened somebody that they was going to tear down their door if they called dispatcher anymore about these boom car punks that are going down the road where I can't even live in my home in peace. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, I can certainly see why you're upset, sir. Would you like me
I
to
am
get on the phone from the Inspector General's office to discuss your concerns about that agency?
Pardon me?
Would you like me to see if I can get the Office of the Inspector General's on the phone to speak with you about your complaint relating to the agency?
I've already been hung up on. I tried to talk to Gerald M. Bailey. Okay? And they won't even let me talk to Gerald M. Bailey, who's the commissioner. So I'm assuming that...
Well, I'm sorry that you weren't able to speak with the commissioner directly, but again, if you have a complaint about their agency and how they're operating, I would encourage you to speak with the Office of the Inspector General. Would you like me to get you connected?
I was talking to Executive Investigations. And I got hung up on. Now I'm talking to the Florida governor. I'm talking to the chief.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't want to...
Your complaint again is about the agency and how they treated you. Then I would need to get you to the Office of Inspector General. To address
Well, here's the point.
concerns about
Wait a minute. May, isn't the governor the top of the pile, and that he has control over every other agency in the state of Florida? Yes or no? Please. Yes or no? No, please. May, give me an answer. May, give me an answer.
Would you like me to get you?
No, I want to.
The governor doesn't have sole authority over every agency, sir.
What do you mean he
Based
doesn't?
on what you have described regarding the mistreatment of staff from that agency and your